Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Your Icemen taking on the SWZ702 from Kinsman B Arena. First game of the new year is Saturday, January 3rd. And we are about to get underway. Weeks in to take the draw. Helped by Baines. Baines over to Weeks. Weeks gains the zone. Push to the ice, but Baines able to get it back. He'll move it back to the point. Fired through traffic. Good shot by Ferris on net. And that's held for the first whistle. Face-off won by the Icemen. Worked into the slot. Baines will pick it up. Fire it back. In on the tender. Steered aside with a blocker. Centering pass doesn't work, and the Kings will move it up the other way. Kings move it to center and dump it in. They'll give chase. Ferris breaks up that centering pass. There's Sawyer back to pick it up. Cologne's still out, so Sawyer's still playing defense. Chipped in by Perosny. He'll give chase, and that'll be an icing. Hassanoff in net for the Kings tonight. Good stop by Jordan. He steers out of side. Your Icemen wearing their alternate third jerseys. The colored decor of the Utah Mammoth. That puck out of play to the right of Jordan over the net. Face-off won by the Kings, back to the point. Shot in on net, doesn't get through, and a centering pass doesn't work. Binder will pick it up. He's muscled off the puck briefly, but Gwinnett will pick it up. The 2-on-1 as he's in on with Knapsack and just offside is Knapsack. A clear 2-on-1. Your Icemen sitting tied for fourth in standings. 3 wins, 2 losses in league play. Vanderham muscles his man off the puck, but it looks like it's going to be a interference or a hold. A hold is the call on Vanderham, and he'll sit. Giamaroli and Smith will stay out to start the penalty kill, along with Carrero and Carrier. Smith in to take the draw. Smith ties his man up. That puck through, but gets to the point. Fired! Just got a piece of it. Was Jordan with his blocker, and that eludes the defenseman at the point, playing his off wing, and it'll get back out to the neutral zone. Vanderham in the box for holding. Gives South Zone its first power play. Right in close and short side upstairs over the shoulder of Jordan. And the Kings make good on the power play, and Weeks out here centering Perosny. Perosny playing wing on this shift. Left wing along with Baines. Hard hit by Sawyer as he stepped up on his man, breaking the Kings player's stick. He'll have to retreat to the bench. Good outlet pass there by Baines up to Perosny. Perosny gains his own. Forced off the puck, but the Kings unable to get it out as of yet. Knocked down by Ferris. Ferris back to Baines. Baines will circle back in his own end. Move it over to Sawyer. Sawyer evades a check. Chip it down below the goal line and give chase. Centering pass back to Weeks. Handcuffs him, and the Kings will come out the other way. Kings lob that in on Jordan, and he'll put that aside to Baines. Baines and Ferris looked like he went down hard in the corner of Sawyer, and Baines is slow to get up and shaking it off. Porosny chips the puck out to center, but no further. Baines very slow to get to the bench. We'll keep an eye on that. That's going to be a boarding penalty against the Kings. Look at this Ferris hit into the boards. Boarding penalty is the call. Ferris appears no worse for wear. And your Icemen will go on the power play. So your Icemen with their first power play of the evening. Faceoff will be deep in the Kings zone. The South Zone sitting with a record of 4 wins, 1 loss, 1 tie, 9 points. Second in the league. Face-off won by the Icemen. Keep it in briefly. It could be a 2-on-1 here for the Kings. Centering pass doesn't work, and Sawyers will go back and set up behind his own net. Outlet pass. Worked up to Binder. Binder will gain the line. Curl back to the blue line. Shovel that back down low. Good job by Gwinnett to come in and support and retrieve the puck. The Icemen able to set things up here. Binder on the half wall. He'll get to the top, drop it back. Shot by Homulus, tipped on the way to the cage by Gwinnett. And smothered up by the tender for a whistle. Moved up. The blue line. Porosny will kick it back over to Weeks. Weeks from the point. From the flank, fires it in, and no traffic in front, and the tender able to snag that easily and hold it for a whistle. Face-off won by the Kings, and they'll fire it all the way down. Porosny picks it up to Weeks, back to Porosny. Porosny, last man back, able to evade 2 checks, gains center. Kicks it over on the back end of Weeks. Gains his own, he'll chip it in low, give chase. Picked up by Vanderham. Vanderham tries to drop it off to Porosny, almost picked off by a Kings player it is, and able to get it out into the neutral zone to kill some time. Vanderham circles back in his own zone. Moves it to the near side to Porosny. Porosny back to Weeks into traffic. Smith able to pick that up. Corral it. Give it to Porosny. 13 seconds left in the power play. Worked across the opposite side. This try by Ferris to get it to Porosny. He can't unload that. To the opposite side to Weeks. Fired in and a rebound live. Can't get shoveled in. Worked out front again, and Porosny buries it as a penalized player back on the ice. Weeks from below the goal line to Porosny, and the game is knotted at 1. So it'll be an even strength goal by your Icemen, but just under 6 minutes gone in this game. We are tied at 1 apiece. Just gets out as Homulus tried to work that up to Binder up the far side, hit a Kings player, but is able to get it out over the blue line. Knapsick to Foot. Gwinnett tries to evade his man. Good pass by Binder, able to get it into Knapsick. He's muscled off the puck, though, just at the top of the circle in the Kings zone. Kings try to get it out. Gwinnett picks it up. Gwinnett Centering pass to Knapsack. Doesn't connect, and good effort by Foot to try to keep that in with his glove, but unfortunately it goes into the Kings bench for a whistle. Face off to the left of Hassanoff. Vanderham wins the draw. Smith picks it up, cycles it back. Great job trying to set up Giamaroli. And Hassanoff able to smother that for a whistle. Vanderham centering a line with Smith and Giamaroli. Carrero and Carrier on the back ends. Vanderham kicked out of the circle. Smith will come in and take the draw. He ties up his man. That's picked up out of the pile by Vanderham briefly. And Kings player tries to reverse it. Vanderham gets it to the point. Carrier fires that in through traffic. Hassanoff had to be sharp to keep his paddle on the ice to keep that out. Carrero pinches. Carrier's going to have to chase back. It's a 2-on-0. 2-on-1, almost a 2-on-0, and great job by Carrier to hound the puck carrier to prevent a scoring opportunity. Passed into the slot. Handcuffs the Kings player in the slot on the backhand, unable to release that one. Vanderham chip and chase up the wall. He'll give chase as Giamaroli comes in as support. That's rimmed around the boards. Perazzi picks it up briefly off the boards. Carrero able to keep it in. Kings go to the far side to work it out. Centering pass to no one is picked off by Weeks, and he'll get back into the Kings zone. Another outlet pass picked off by Binder. Good job. Tries to center that over to Ferris. It was all alone. No call on the play. And Sawyer moves it over to Ferris. Ferris up the wall trying to find Perazzi. That'll be blown down on the icing. .12:34 remaining in this opening period. Tied at 1. South Zone 702 able to get a power play goal to start the scoring, but just as the power play expired for the Icemen, they were able to tie things up at 1. And that was Weeks. That was for Perazzi from Weeks. Shot in through traffic, doesn't make its way to Jourdain. Good job by Perazzi to try to pick that up. Binder will gain the zone, waved off on the icing, or on the offside though, the linesman deep in the zone. Puck in on the tender is covered for a whistle. And both teams will get full line changes in. Face off to the right of Hassanoff. My apologies, Ferris and Sawyer will stay out here, the deep pairing for your Iceman. Work to the far side. Centering pass doesn't work. Ferris will pick it up, go back the other way. Vanderham evades a check from the defenseman and is able to chip it in below the goal line. Pass up the near boards works. Good pick up by the Kings player, the captain, able to pick that up. He's pushed off the puck by Homulus. Great job to take the body. Shot from the point, blocked by Gwinnett. Vanderham to Gwinnett, heads up. Thought the Kings player was going to lower the boom on Gwinnett. Knapsack tries to get that deep. That doesn't work, and the Kings will gain the zone the other way. Good angle off by Gwinnett on his man, allowing Homulus to pick up the puck. Centering past the Knapsack is waved off on the icing, so the Icemen able to get a full complement of players on the ice. A centering pass back the other way is called on the icing, so the play will be back in to the southwest zone. Weeks in to take the draw. Him and Giamaroli are out here with Smith, Homulus, and Foot. Homulus Pinching in, Weeks, good support. Smith misfires on a one-timer. Nice feed on the centering pass by Homulus to set up Smith. Offside wave down on the Icemen blue line. So Weeks will go off. Vanderham will come out here with this line for the shift now. Face-off won by the Kings. Good job by Carrier to pick that up. Tries to chip it off the glass and out. Centering pass through the slot doesn't work. Kings pinch down to keep it in. Turned over in the high slot. The Kings get it back. Good job by Vanderham to knock that back into the corner. Some scrambly play, and the Kings player literally pushes Jordan back below the goal line, or below the goal line to get that puck to go in, and immediately waved off by the official. Not much of an argument from the Kings players. The face-off will be brought outside of the Icemen blue line. Coach Ferris gets a line change. Grozny on the left wing here, Weeks centering this line with Sawyers now up front. Sawyers playing double duty here, now up as a forward. Ferris and Carrero on the back end. That shot up off a stick and out of play. Seeing some juggling of different line changes here. As like I said, Sawyers is now up on forward. You see Perosny over on the left wing. He usually plays center. And Weeks is centering this modified line, shall we say. Fired up high on the glass into the opposite corner, but kept in by Ferris as it came around. Perosny back to Carrero. Carrero fires it through traffic. Sawyers, we got a piece of that as it sailed to the net. It's chipped out into the neutral zone. The Kings content to lob it in to the Iceman zone. Pass to the near wall to Perosny doesn't work, but it'll trickle down on the tender. Hasanoff will steer it to his defense, and Homulus will pick it up. Go D to D, that doesn't work to foot. But Knapsick will pick it up. He tries to rim it off the wall to get it out, and the Kings will keep it in. 9:03 remaining in this opening period. Tied at 1. Knapsick hounded off the puck in the corner. Some jousting begins. The Kings trying to get loose for a shot. And looks like Gwinnett is in some discomfort, and he goes to the bench. Line change here. We'll keep an eye on Gwinnett here as he's sitting down on the bench in some discomfort. Puck remains in the Iceman zone momentarily, but Foote will pick it up and rush it out. Gives it to Smith. Smith will lob that in and go give chase. Vanderham in support will keep it in. Kept in momentarily as Foote. Good job to break that up, and Jim Rowley will shovel it back in to the King zone. The Iceman now trying to force a turnover here deep in the zone. Kings content to just lob it back in the neutral zone to relieve the pressure. Smith tries to hit Giammaroli. That's picked off by the Kings defenseman who gains the zone. Looked like an offside here on the near boards. Kings player, but that's waved off. Hard hit down in the corner. Kings player tries to center that. Good job by Carrier to clear that into the ditch. Vanderham takes a run at his man. A puck Koreans off of a stanchion and out to center. Smith will chip it to the back wall and allow the Iceman to get a line change. Weeks, Sawyers, and Porosny back out here for the Icemen. Got a Kings player down in discomfort there as one of the Icemen players finished his check. No whistle as of yet. He's looking at the official, wondering why the play wasn't blown down. Shot by Carrier, goes off a stick up into the netting. So player in discomfort, able to get up and get to the bench, but he was looking at the official the whole time, wondering why the play wasn't blown down. .704 remaining in this opening period. Still tied at 1. Line of Porosny, Sawyers, and Weeks still out here, as well as Carrero and Homulus, as the official is giving an explanation to both teams as to his interpretation of what just went down with the injured player. I think there might have been a lot more concern from the Kings bench had the Icemen scored essentially on the power play if that player was still on his knees at the half wall. But instead, they don't. And the Kings player able to get up and get to the bench. So at any rate, we're back underway here. Homulus steps up on his man right at the blue line. Weeks will come back to support the defense. Good job by Carrero to move it up to Sawyers. Sawyers bumped into the Kings bench. Sawyers will give chase and finish his check on his man. Not taking a number, but finishing a check on another teammate after he was hit into the Kings bench, or partially. Sawyers whacks the player's stick out of his hand, but the official right there doesn't see it either way. Shot right through traffic. Good job by Jordana. Steer that off, and the puck right back past the Iceman bench, and luckily as a line change going on, it didn't touch a skate. Centering pass picked off by Bender, stolen back by the Kings. Gain the zone, but it's going to be offside as the puck is bobbled at the blue line. .5:59 remaining in this opening frame. Still tied at 1. Goal by Porosny, assist to Weeks to tie things up here in the first period. Centering pass handcuffs the captain, number 15. The Kings will gain the zone. Gwinnett will shovel it to the opposite corner. Centering pass knocked away by Ferris. Bender dodges a hit, gets it out to the blue line. No call by the official, the linesman either way. You didn't know that was offside or not. Ferris disrupts that pass, and as a result, the Kings come in offside again. So we've seen Porosny move over to the wing, and Weeks and Vanderham running passes or the centering duties. We haven't seen Baines come back in this game yet, and I'm looking to see if Gwinnett comes back out. Smith, Weeks, and Giamroli. Forced turnover by Smith right on the stick of Weeks, and unable to get it up over the shoulder of Hasanoff. It's going to be a power play for the Icemen as Smith is hammered to the ice in front of the net. Smith able to get that shot away, and then he was planted But at any rate, the official's arm was already up on the delayed penalty, so your Icemen will be on the power play. It's going to be a slashing penalty to the Kings player. Binder, Weeks, and Smith to start, with Porozny on the back end and Ferris. So 4 forwards and a defenseman. Ferris, the lone defenseman on this power play. Ferris protects the puck. Drops it to Weeks. Weeks at the top. Moves it over to Porozny. Porozny from the half wall. Back door, trying to find Ferris. Creeping in, and the Kings get it to the blue line, but not out. Great job by Weeks to keep it in. Porozny over to Binder. Binder through the seam to Weeks. Smith tied up in the corner, but Binder able to come in and help out. Move back, briefly held in the zone, but the Kings able to clear it back out all the way the length of the ice. Binder protects the puck along the near boards. Centering pass doesn't work as Kings player finishes his check off on Binder and forces the turnover. Porozny will pick it up. 4 minutes remaining in this opening frame. Porozny gains his own. He'll slow things down. Drop back to Binder. Binder. Drop to Sawyers. Sawyers curls along the half wall. Fired through traffic, and Gwinnett was boxed out in front of the net, so Hassanoff able to grab that with a glove. Gwinnett now centering a line here on the power play. Face-off won by the Icemen. Back to Homulus. Homulus fakes the pass to the sidewall to Sawyer, and Sawyer tries to go short side on Hassanoff, and that goes up into the netting. It's like Sawyer's, Gwinnett, and Knapsack up front with Homulus, who fires it right on net, and Hassanoff able to flash the leather again and snag it. Clean face-off win by the Icemen, able to fire it in on net. Great shot by Homulus. Low and hard, going for that low corner on the far side. Foot and Homulus on the back end. About 30 seconds remaining in the penalty to the Kings. Work to the wall. Sawyer able to protect it on the off wing, able to keep it in. Sawyer gets the puck, fires through traffic, hits Knapsack in front. I believe it didn't get to the net as Knapsack was screening, but it hit him in front of the net. Homulus quick up to Knapsack. Knapsack evades his check, moves it over to Gwinnett. Gwinnett just rolls off his stick. He'll work it up top to Sawyer. Sawyer handcuffs Foot, and that puck will get sent back down the ice. The Kings able to kill off that penalty. We're back to even strength with 2:44 remaining in the opening frame. Sawyer turnover. Fire and look to go far side on Jordan. Just misses the far post. The Iceman just able to get it right down on Hassanoff. He's going to have to steer that aside behind the net to his decor. Giamaroli able to force a turnover, but the Kings back the other way. Looked like it was close to being an offside again as the captain for the Kings is going to be calling a slashing penalty on Ferris. That zone entry, the Kings able to get a shot on net, and subsequently the official saw an infraction, and Ferris will go to the box. So Binder and Giamaroli out to start the penalty kill for your Icemen, along with Foot and Carrero. 2:12 remaining in this opening frame, 1-0. Face-off won by the Kings. Go D-to-D, shot low. Looking to go backdoor on the redirect. Just misses. It's Mark. Great shot by the defenseman. Low and hard for that backdoor. Worked along the half wall by the Kings. Shot in again. Just misses on the far side on Jordana. Hit the back wall. 30 seconds gone in the penalty. There's a shot and a subsequent rebound. Official lost sight of it. Great stops by Jordana. 2 in a row before the play was blown down. Unsportsmanlike penalty assessed to the Kings, so there goes the power play for the Kings. We'll play some 4-on-4. Oh, it's going to be a 10-minute misconduct. So a 10-minute misconduct assessed to the Kings player, so it'll still be a power play for the Kings, but as a result of the penalty, the faceoff will be back in the Kings zone. Clear as mud as the faceoff is started deep in the Kings zone. So it's a 10-minute misconduct, and that's why we're still 5-on-4 power play for the Kings. Good shot by Carrier. Just misses up on the glove side on Hassanoff. Homulus pulled down. No penalty there. Weeks able to muscle his way to the goal line, but no further in the corner. Got to kill off some valuable time. Kings still on a power play here till what will be 12 seconds remaining in the period if the Icemen are able to kill it off. Dragon. Shot just missed upstairs on Jordan, but his glove was there. It just sailed over the top post. Kings move the puck from low to high back to the point. D-to-D across the top. Fired in and good pad save by Jordan. Subsequent shot is broken up. The Weeks will pick it up and come out of the zone. Weeks 1-on-3. Stops up just at the blue line. Forced the turnover for the Kings, and Kings able to try one last rusher with 20 seconds left on the power play. Kings drive it in. Good job by Foot to break up that play. Carrero goes after his man on a bobbled puck, and the Icemen able to kill it off with 9 seconds left. It's a 3-on-1 break. Up the zone. Shot from the corner on Hassanoff. Steered aside. So after 20 minutes of play, your Icemen and the South Zone Kings knotted at 1.